Hi everyone, good evening. It's nice to be here again once with you again, Techis Africa. I'm Abigail Ayera, your host, and we have another wonderful session this evening with George Aboli. It's so nice to have you here, sir. I would like to introduce Techis Africa and give us a bit intro about what Inside the Hustle is all about. So we have different businesses, and many people just look at these businesses from far and they think they know it all, or they're wondering, what do I really need to know before I venture into such business? That is what Inside the Hustle is all about. We are here to share key details with you that you need to know before venturing into such businesses. So here with us is George Obul, like I mentioned, and he's here to speak on brand management. But before that, we'll give him the floor to introduce himself. So the floor is yours.
Okay, Abigail, thank you for having me today. My name is George Achike Oboli. I'm the managing partner for Reeve Communications Limited. This is a brand building and management consultancy firm. So thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you so much for that. Now, I have a posing question for you. A lot of people have brands. We have brands for online brands, we have physical brands, brands for makeup, brands for, a lot of brands. But a lot of people have so many misconceptions behind the idea of building a brand. Can you mention a few misconceptions people have about building brands?
Well, I will start with the foundation. People have products and they call it brand. People start organizations and they call it brand. People are providing service and they call it a brand when it is not actually brand. It becomes a brand when it has been created, nurtured, and helped to achieve its purpose, which is to do what? Patronage and raise revenue for the organization. So there's a difference between a product, an organization, a service from a brand. So that is the first misconception. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for mentioning that. I think a lot of people are victims here. Once we have a few people like customers and they keep coming back and we have the name
Yes.
and there's a logo, the idea is that I'm a brand now. Okay, so that clarifies it. So, what was your initiative? Like, why did you even start? Why did you take interest into brand management in the first place?
Well, I studied mass communication, marketing, MSc, and then did the MBA. And these are isolated functions. Marketing, communication, PR, are isolated functions. And it got to a stage while I was working with an ad agency, uh, the vogue became brand building. And brand building, we started studying about it. And we came to realize that integrating all these functions that I have mentioned to be able to create a project, or a product that is known by your target audience, accepted by them, preferred by them, patronized, and can be introduced by them to others. So that is what brought about the issue of brand development and management. I'm taking this primarily to be able to explain this for our target audiences. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, very clearly, very clearly.
Network. Hello, can you hear me, Abigail? Okay, okay. So, brand building and management is about creating perception that those recall can influence people to behave the way you want them to behave. For example, you come up with a product and you all these functions that I've mentioned to position your product as a brand in the mind of your target public. And each time they look for that service, the product that will satisfy their need, yours comes to mind, and they patronize you. They prefer to always patronize you and introduce you to
Okay, I think we lost him again. Let's just give a few seconds, see if he's able to rejoin. Network is really crazy. So, oh, you're welcome, sir. Can you hear me?
yes, I can now. Yes, I can now. The network has been fluid, not helping matters, but what technology glitches uh, as the phrase goes.
Okay, so you can try to summarize what you were trying to say before the network took you out, please.
Okay, yes, I said I will just draw an analogy to buttress what I have just said. That brand building and management is just like cooking soup in my own balance, like cooking soup. Because of cooking soup, you need some ingredients that I may not mention here. Uh, you add them at the appropriate time. You uh, boil them, you stir them, you taste, add what you are supposed to add until it begins to taste like soup, and you can eat it, and it satisfies your need. So brand building and management is just like that. You bring the PR function, you bring the advertising functions, you bring the events management functions, and you add them at the appropriate time to be able to create that perception, to create that identity you want for your products and your services. And in the course of that, intermittently you evaluate, say, am I achieving what I want, the target, or the purpose or the objective I set out to achieve? And as you evaluate what you have, and at the end of it, you have a that people will prefer and will always want to patronize. So basically, that's it.
Thank you for reading and explaining that in detail for us. Now, I want you to give me on a scale of 1 to 100, like 100%. Can you, okay, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, can you say, okay, this is the amount of brands that are actually meeting up, or amount of companies that are actually meeting up to the standard of branding? I hope you get me. Can you give us a scale
Yeah.
of organization, companies that are meeting up the standard of branding and those are not? Let us weigh it and personally assess brands that need to work on, yes, their branding.
Okay, if I do this, I'll be hazarding a guess because that will put in place to evaluate these brands to know if they've come to the stage of being brands. And some over, a brand matures, a brand can die, a brand can wane over time. So, but just give and take discussion. I will say maybe five, in the sense that at least keeps us going to talk about brand at the essence of organizations and individuals. becoming brands and turning their products and services into brands. Just to give us that footing for us to discuss about it. A lot of organizations, like I have mentioned, have built brand over the years, and by virtue of uh, maturity, brands do not move to the next stage, because what happens is that as a brand matures, most brand managers tend to relax, and then kicks in and takes and takes over, and the brand really dies. So what happens matures? You have your thinking cap on, and you must be what? Innovative to keep that brand alive. So that's it for me.
Hmm. That aspect, I think a lot can relate to when you feel that okay, you're picking up, your business is picking
So the
up, and
network.
your brand is.
So Abigail, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Oh, oh, oh. Hello, Abigail, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly. Okay. So, I think what you mentioned earlier concerning.
Okay.
Okay, I need to be sure you're hearing me.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. So go ahead.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So, a
Um,
lot of
um,
brands when they
Unfortunately, the
notice.
network has not late today, and we've been swearing this. How it goes?
So once some brands pick up,
Mm.
the tendency to relax that I've arrived and I'm where I'm supposed to be. And that usually is the weak point of so many brands. But let me ask this posing question. For
Yeah,
you as a
yes, I can hear
career,
you. I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
what challenges did you face
Ooh.
improving improving brand management? Did you hear the question?
No, please, could you repeat that?
Okay, the question is
Hello, can you
what
repeat that? The
challenges did you
last question asked.
Yes. Like, what challenge did you experience while trying to improve, in
Hello.
trying to improve
Yeah.
brand management? What challenges did you experience?
Well, in the course of my career, yes, in the course of my career, several brands, I've helped build brands, nurtured them. What happens is that when the brand attains maturity, and the owners are enjoying the value, enjoying patronage, they relax, and when they relax, competition kicks, and competitors edge them out, slowly dies, and goes off the industry or off the shelf. My experience is you nurturing your brand. It goes to a stage, a very dynamic industry, just like every market is volatile, threatened by competition and uh, uh, innovation, and threatened by innovation and creativity. So you must have to wear your thinking cap, like I said. You must have to have your ego, because over time, people evolve. Their need evolves. To mention names, but we remember when we used to do that you would take pictures and go and print it out. But now with your, it's like you have to keep.
The network is not being friendly with us.
Uh,
Okay.
you require creativity. You require innovation, and continuous evaluation to do this. As well, you are improving. So that is very, very consistent. You clarify your position, and you have to be stable. You so that people can rely on you. What you say is what you deliver. Over time, you don't wait. You don't begin to relax and begin to renege on your word. No, your word must be your word, and whatever you say, your promise, that is what you will deliver to your users or customers. So this is it. Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you so much, George. I really appreciate your resilience because despite the network disturbance, you still try to
Can you
portray
hear
your
me now?
message very clearly. We appreciate that. So I would just like to pose this as this
Yeah.
concluding question. So, what key details would you like to share with the audience? What key information? Something about brand management they won't see easily out there. You would like to tell them so that they can improve in improving their brands. Yeah.
Hmm. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, please, I can.
Okay, please just ask the last question so that I can take it.
Okay, I asked what key detail would you like to share with the audience that is not publicly known concerning brand management? Just a concluding question.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, with the advent of technology and the improvement of technology over time, I think a lot of things are in the open now. But people know a lot of things. But when they know it, do they put it to use? That is the question. For me, if you have my parting word will be that if you have a product, a service, an organization that you believe that is very, very good, top notch, that responsible and responsive, but your target audience does not know about this product, service, organization, you are winking in the dark, because you believe you know what you are doing and you are doing efficiently well, but your target audience does not know. So it's always good for organizations to take brand building seriously, because it is what drives patronage for their products and services. And then the bottom line, the repeat patronage, and the growth for revenue is very, very crucial for the survival and success of every organization. So that's my parting word for today.
Okay, and just a quick one. Would you recommend um, for brands that notice that there's a deficiency in their brand growth, do you recommend them to have consultants like you, or those who manage like professionals, or do you advise that such ones, no matter if they're a startup company or the rest, do you advise that those ones, improve their brands themselves, or employ a professional in brand management? What's your take on that, sir?
My advice, always works with a brand consultant, because brand is not only about strategy, it's not only about creativity, it's a fusion of a lot of things. You might, in your employment, members of your staff, you may have people who are strategic but they are not creative, or you may have people who are creative but they are not strategic. What a brand consulting firm does, a brand management consulting firm or brand marketing or communication consulting firm does, is to do what? To provide that holistic service, the strategic aspect of brand building and the creative aspect of brand building. Ideas rule the world. Because consultants have been in the field, they have been doing this over the time. They have garnered ideas, they've built contact, they have developed or honed their skills, you know, to deliver on the brand's development and management. So what may take you years may take a brand consultant months to deliver on. So my advice, work on work with brand consultants. And I'm always there. I and my team members, we are always here to support you to achieve your corporate objectives. Thank you.
Yeah, I was waiting for that last part. I was thinking maybe you won't introduce yourself as such.
Of course, I will. Of course, I will. That's what we do for a living. We'll
Exactly.
sit back and associate with brands that we have helped become successful, and it makes us happy.
Hmm. Thank you. And I know that
You're welcome.
once such ones like that come to you, definitely would like to put your details on the YouTube there so that it will be very easy to assess you. I'm sure that once these ones come to you, you would be able to accommodate their needs concerning the budget and the likes. A lot of startup companies are anxious about the pay. Let's take it like that. The pay. They're anxious about the pay. Mr. George, with this your experience in brand management, I hope you will not use bill to pursue us. But you get, I'm sure that would be very um it will be within their limits that they can achieve.
Not at all. Yes, not at all. Budget has always been a constraint, and that's why we are professionals. Yes, we work with lean budgets, we work with fat budgets. Yeah.
I love that word you call the fat budget.
Yes, yes, yes. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes, I do.
Yeah, yes, I say budget has always been a constraint, but as consultants, as professionals, we work with fat budgets, we work with lean budgets. You know, our own is to bring that skills, the knowledge that is required. Thank you.
Yes, thank you once again, Mr. George. Apart from the network disturbance, it was really a delightful topic and a delightful discussion. And I'm sure those that could follow through will be able to identify a brand, differentiate a brand from a normal service they are offering, and they would know the steps to take
Yeah.
in order to improve it and how to continue. Yes. So for our audience, thank you for sticking with Techies Africa once again. And we hope you've been enlightened behind the hustle of brand management. What will be our next topic? Who will be our next speaker? Well, you have to just wait and see them. So thank you once again, Mr. George, and we'll see you on our next session.
Thank you so much for having me today. And I wish Techies success in their endeavor. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
And
you.
do have a wonderful evening. Bye,
I eat to
everyone.
have it. Bye. Bye. Take care. Yeah. Take care.